What up, tubers? This is Ray, the old DOS Geek, Rayware Computers since 1996. Alrighty, once again I had some questions about how to reformat and format stuff, doing their online sales of any kind now. Now I've started off in affiliate marketing, and of course, many of you probably don't know me. I just started up my eBay account again. It's only been a couple of weeks now. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. Okay. So I had a question about the photos. Okay. And, like eBay takes a little bit to get off the ground. I'm using my free account. Okay. Basically, as you can see, I only have around 60 items up, and I'm going to keep putting more up. They're allowing me to do 250 with the free account, which is great. Okay, so on eBay, let's go to the eBay help. Let me show you. Because eBay has been around forever. They've been around since probably the 90s, I believe. Okay, so photo, adding pictures, picture policy. Okay, now I want to try and find out the sizing. Okay, so let's do size. Quick adding pictures to your listen. All right, this, they have a policy with a lot of stuff. Okay, so that one looked like the size there. Okay, how to add pictures, adding, replacing, using background removal. They got some great tools on here. Okay, all right, so let's go back one page and picture policy. Let's see, I see, looks like it's in there. Okay, when you're creating your listing, your product, all right, you want it to be at least 500 pixels. Okay, now most people don't know what the heck that would mean, and easily you could do it on like Canva and Photoshop. Okay, of course you want accurate photos. You can't bamboozle anybody or trick anybody thinking that they're going to get it. And like what a good rule of thumb is to, if your item has a flaw, you want to put a special picture just with that in it, just to show people. Now I'm doing the Mercari thing. What I do is, in my last video I showed you how to easily migrate your eBay listings into your Mercari. Okay, so again, it's only been a few weeks now that I set this up, and it's been a long time excuse me, several years since I got banned from it, okay, for doing the drop shipping thing. Okay, but you got to set up properly. Now, what I went out and did, and this was prior to this taking this picture, of course, I went out and got one of those canvases that they sell, like at Hobby Lobby, and you might even find them in some dollar stores. It's like a wooden frame with a canvas that you can paint on. And what I did was I cut the wood so I could bend it into a 45-degree angle. Okay, and then just put it on my table and take the pictures. Now, this was on the bottom before I thought of the idea of cutting the wood and folding it into a right angle. Let me give you an example with my go to my store. Yeah, eBay's been like a loyal dog to me. Every time I've come back, I've made money on it. And as you can see, like I said, I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. Okay. Now, they also have some great tools now that you can do your pictures on it. Of course, it doesn't always work. You got to try and take a good picture to begin with. Okay. Like you see, I did this on that board. I did this on that board. All these ones. They tell you they don't want it with a background. Now, word of advice here: eBay. And this is actually something I recently just found out. Okay, eBay markets on Google, and Google has got even more stricter rules about the pictures. You can't have any watermarks. It has to have a transparent or a white background like these here. Okay? You know, like they might not accept this with a shadow in it. I try to use the tool to take out the shadow, but it didn't work too well. Okay, and then daylight is the best light. If you got a place in your house, or even if you could go outside and take the pictures in the daytime, that would be ideal. Okay, because some of my first photos were actually junk like this, you know, and I'm going to go back and change them, like this one here, because this was up against my wall, and this was that, you know, the canvas thing that I bought. Okay. This is actually a retail arbitrage. That picture came from the internet. Okay, and they tell you stuff like this is wrong, and it's probably why I haven't sold this in over a month. To lay the clothing down, you want to hang it up on a hanger, or get one of those mannequins to put it on, or even if you got somebody to model the clothes, that would be 100% ideal. Because in marketing, in any kind of marketing, affiliate marketing or anything, you definitely want to get people into the picture. Okay. So now with Mercari, you know, and again, I'm going to go right now and retake these pictures. Mercari, I can't seem to find, you know, any help on the images. At least eBay, they had, you know, and I hate going into these forums where there's guys older than me in there, you know. Okay, let's see. I share photos, so I block. You see all these other stuff come up. I type in photos. It's not like Google search. It's a website search. It's totally different. They're so cheesy, you know. They don't really work too well on these types of site. Okay, so nothing really comes up on photo sizing. Okay, so let me just do photos. All right, nothing coming up again. Let me go photos. Okay, how to take the photos. Okay, so this is pretty good, and they show you here how to take the photos without anything in the background. Okay, include more than one photo. Use a model. Okay, so it's got all the basic stuff in here. It doesn't tell me anything about the size. So anytime you run into these dilemmas, even on your Facebook stuff, your affiliate marketing websites, you know. So let's go out to Mercari and let's go to their main page. Okay, I don't want to make this video too long. And see where we're at. Okay, I love it. Alright, what's going on? Alright, so now, as you can see, some of the photos in here are basically what they told you not to do. Okay, so now, let me see if in some Christmas miracle one of the old DOS Geeks items is going to come up. Oh, that's cute. It's going to come up here. And Mercari is, of course, it's basically females and it's basically clothing, which I'm going to change very shortly. My wife and I, we discussed it. We're just going to do clothing. And, okay, so let's see if I can bring up one of my listings and see how it looks out in the real world. Okay, let's see. I think I put it on the coffee cup. And what I try to do on these types of listings, because, you know, when you've mastered SEO on the internet and stuff, you know, basically, yeah, shut some of these down. What's going on here? Coffee cup, coffee cup. I might come up. Now with these platforms, usually when you first start out, they put you at the top. They want to see you succeed. Okay. Let me see. I'll do Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Coffee cup. It's weird. It doesn't keep it in the search engine. Coca-Cola. I think it's actually CA. And that's another good advice too. When you do SEO, put spellings, like if they have any tags, spell the word incorrectly. I actually used to have a website that I used to go to that used to, you put in a word and it comes up with all the wrong spellings, you know. Alright, so I'm not seeing a lot of stuff in here. A lot of Coca-Cola. I think I made a bad choice in doing the Coca-Cola thing. Okay, I'm just going to stop this video for a second. Okay, put it under mugs. See, what I do is I don't do, like I didn't put Coca-Cola in the first word of my description because there's just a million of them coming up there, you know. So and there's a million coffee mugs up there, but a lot of times you can escape to the top, you know. If you use a little bit different lingo, I'm going to try it one more time. Oh, I'm spelling coffee wrong. Okay, and you see I probably put that in there. Let me do that because I'm pretty sure I put coffee in as a defective word, what I call a defective word. Okay, let's see if anything comes up there. Probably a bunch of coffee. Okay, so let's spell it wrong. Do the coffee mug thing. Ooh, there's an old McDonald's cup. Boy, I used to get them at the flea markets over here in North Jersey for 50 cents a piece, quarter. Sometimes they'd have a dozen of them at the flea markets. It was great, man. And you sell them for 15, 20 bucks. Coffee mug. All right, let's try it like that. Spelled cola wrong. And that's why nothing came up. All right. Internet's running slow in this heat, man. Let me tell you. Gag gift. There I am, right there. Okay. So now my picture there took me long enough, right? It's not. See how some of them are obscure, and the pictures like out of the scene or too small, like this, where you really can't see it. Okay. So let's see how I formatted that picture. And what you could do is, see if I could do this without. Okay, so that picture, right? That picture, let's open the image. Okay, so you can see how pretty big that picture is. Okay. And it's a cube. So you want to keep it in a cube. So I would suggest maybe this is probably, let's see, let's download this, right? Because once you start, you know, changing it, okay? Once you start changing it and all, okay, showing folder. All right, so I'm going to hover this over. And we're going to go to properties. Okay, we're going to go to details. Okay, so it's show me 69 kilobytes. General. See how funny, it's not giving me much information on the actual size. Show me the size in megabytes or kilobytes, of course. It's a very small file. but it doesn't show me. Okay, because it saved it as a web file. Okay, so let's do it this way. Open with Google Chrome, save image, all files, and I'm going to go .png. Let's see how it does there. Okay, I got that open here. Okay, so we're going to go .png, and it definitely kept the same. Very odd that it's not giving me the size. I still can't determine the size. Okay, so we want to determine the size of this photo. Okay, so now another way to do it is, like that one seems a little bit bigger. Let me make sure that is pretty big. And it looks oblong when it's roasted up like that. Okay, so I'm going to shut these other ones out. And again, we're looking to try and capture the size of the photo. So I'm going to try and grab this photo like this now. Okay, let's see how that looks. A little less. I'm going to try and save it. Okay, and we're going to put it on the desktop. Let's see. Documents. Let's put it in here. It's going to save it as a JPEG. Okay, so now we're going to go to save as again, capture, properties, details. Okay, finally. Okay, so on your average, you want to keep it as square as possible. Okay, now this was pretty big, but if the picture is centered in this, basically it's a cube. So I would imagine anywhere from 500 by 500 to say 700 by 700, pixels across. You're gonna want to do that. Okay, so basically, what we could do when you come to Canva, you can create a design. Excuse me. So I'm going to go say 680 by 680. Go somewhere in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to create this photo. And more than likely, when I copied that with the stock, Windows snipping tool, of course I just screwed it up. Because, all right, I'm going to try it again. When you copy this with the Windows snipping tool, okay, I'm just going to take the picture of Coke, okay. Okay, it automatically copies it to the clipboard. So I can go on Canva, okay, and then just do, you can't do paste here. It's going to tell you, okay, it's going to see allow. Oh, they changed it. Awesome. You never used to be able to do that with Canva. You used to have to use the keyboard. Okay, set image as background. I could do it like that. It's not really the greatest. All right, so we're going to change that, detach it, and then we're going to just make it as big as possible in the background. Now, being that this picture has already got some kind of background, okay, there's really not much that the tools are going to do, because you could use either eBay background remover or Canva. Now, Canva is obviously probably better, okay, but you'd have to load up all your pictures to Canva, drop them back down. Okay, so it took part of my cup there. Okay, so we can't do that. Okay, so we got to hit restore. We can do undo. Okay, so when I save this picture, it's basically going to be in the center. Okay, and then it'll come up on the Mercari listings, in the center. And the pictures are paramount in these types of formats and selling. Just like in affiliate marketing, you want to get your pictures right down the way they need to be. Now, recently, I've been challenging this no background thing. And I'm going to do some experimenting, because when I was doing this in the beginning, back in 2015, was when I actually first started selling on eBay. I was making a lot of money, man. And only with the 50 free ones, what I had was an old blanket. It was actually my cat's blanket. And she had been passed away for a long time, and I kept a section of the blanket. It was like a blue fuzzy blanket, okay? And I used to use that for the background for everything, unless, of course, it was blue item, like something like this. I wouldn't put it on that, And maybe it was the times, maybe it was the items I had for sale. Obviously, it was the items I had for sale: Star Trek memorabilia, pocket knives, things like this. But I'm going to experiment with this, because this knife, the knives are saturated on the platforms today. Even in the flea markets, they wise up, Usually a knife like this in the flea market, you'll get it for $5, $1, $3, and you'll be able to sell it anywhere for, 25 and up on eBay. Okay, so, and you're going to want to experiment with it as well. See what works. It's always good if you got an item that's been up there for more than a month, and either lower your prices, change the the format, like this stuff here. This really, I'm probably going to change this, because that's not how I've been doing them. Somehow I was doing that in the beginning. Believe me, it only takes the one person to get in front of it and make the sale, but also you're going to want to attract them like flies to honey. You know what I mean? So this is Ray, the old DOS geek, Rayware Computers, since 1996. I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe and to hit that notification button, because that's what YouTube tells me to tell you guys. Take care.